Has it been like kind of processing the emotions over the last 36 hours or so?
Yeah, it's always difficult. I feel this year maybe more than ever.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. I think partly because of Game 7 overtime, partly being on the ice for the goal, partly age. Just I think every year gets more challenging. Honestly.
Sorry, that's okay.
How much do you relive that last play?
Oh, a lot.
What did you see?
It's hard to describe. I don't know if I can. So.
It just takes a lot of abuse in this market. It's taken a lot now. What stands out to you about him as a teammate and how he handles that?
I think he's an amazing human and a great hockey player. So any heat or anything like that, I believe would be undeserved.
When the expectations are where they were for the group again this year, Morgan, as a competitor yourself, as a group, how frustrating is it that the run's coming in to a short end?
Yeah, I think at this point we're in a wonderful position where anything other than a championship is a disappointment. So we're lucky to be in that position, but it makes anything other than that very difficult and very challenging, for the group on many levels.
How many times? Why hasn't the group been able to break through that one series?
It's a tough question to give answers to. I would say that it's not an easy thing to do to go win a Stanley Cup. There's a lot of players and a lot of teams who are trying to do that. So there's a lot of things to go through. But for us, we believe in ourselves. We're not making any excuses. The expectation is to be able to get to that point. So anything short is a failure. So I don't have an answer to your question in terms of why. And that has been the driving force behind the off season and what we're trying to do next year and the years moving forward.
Quite a few players have talked about how close this team was this particular year. I wonder, does that make it more concerning, especially because it's been here for a long time, that there could be changes in the offseason that could break things?
Well, there's always change, like this group won't ever be exactly the same, and that's just the reality. I think as players we're all aware of this, and that's just the business, which is one of those things that you just have to face. And I think, it's a cliche to say it's a tight-knit group or, this and that, but I think that there is truth. There is truth in that. So moving forward, I think that there is a framework of what brought that forward that we need to grow and we need to build on. But ultimately, the group is never the same the following season.
Where did you see maybe some of that growth more than that gives you the belief that this team still?
Well, I think it comes out in different ways over the course of a season. There are players here that have taken it upon themselves to take on more of a leadership role, and there's players here that have just grown and improved both as leaders, as teammates, and as players for a long time now. And I think that the expectation is always going to be growth. It's always going to be that we're moving forward and we're learning and improving. And I think it comes out in all different ways over the course of a long season.
One last one here from Morgan.
How close do you think you are to the goal you mentioned?
I don't want to stand here and try to tell you that we're on the doorstep of anything, because we're sitting here today doing this, but the belief is there that it's attainable, but there's work and improvement that has to take place. So how close are we? I don't know. We'll see. It feels both attainable and a ways away, and that's what drives you as an individual. That's what drives a team forward to either have success or we'll see.